Here we go live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Debs Cooper, global stressologist, coming to you live. Now, let's just give me one moment because technology is going to be my friend today. Make sure my sound is sorted. I believe so. I believe so. That would be amazing if it was. That would be just so simple. But anyway, which is actually very funny as I say that because today I'm coming to you live to talk about why feeling stuck is actually a gift. Bing! When we work through it. Not often straight away. So let me know if you're here, hashtag replay, that would be amazing, and grab your note-taking device because I really want to get into this. This is so common to what's going on. The more and more I'm talking to people, there is so many people who are just stuck and they're like, I don't even know where to move, I don't even know how to get out of it, what's the first step? And it's a little bit like this, blah, 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 blah. You know those ones. So grab that note-taking device because let's just hit it right now. So my strategy number one about why feeling stuck is actually a gift. And I want you to think about the signs that this happens in. So my tip is actually zoom out for perspective. Zoom out for perspective. And the signs happen, it just means, I want you to really think about this happens to you. So you feel trapped and you're in the same loop and it just keeps repeating. It's like the hamster wheel. Round and round, it keeps repeating, and you just get so overwhelmed by little small details, and you just get so overwhelmed that it actually discombobulates you, that you freeze and you feel like there's nothing actually working. Okay, so we got that. We know what that looks like. So I was talking to a client recently and they felt they were stuck, and bless her, she felt she was stuck in their business because everything that she was doing, the project just felt so heavy. It was too much, and someone would ask her to do something, she'd go, yeah, of course I will, and it just kept exploding. And what happened is she kept focusing on the one task in front of her, and she couldn't actually see how it was getting to the bigger vision, and it was just that one step was too much for her to, let alone the 5 steps past that. Have we all felt like that? Yeah, I know. Even me this week, there's been so much because I'm traveling again and different background, as you'll see. But this is exactly what happens to us. I can just feel the pain. So here's my resolution for this one. I want you to take a step back. Just take a step back. Step one, take a step back. And I want you to imagine yourself on a balcony. Yeah, on a balcony, a high-rise balcony, or wherever, a balcony, and I want you to look down at your life. I want you to imagine yourself at a high-rise balcony, and I want you to look down at your life. Look down right now. And you're going to ask yourself, what's the bigger picture here? What's the bigger picture here? What am I learning? And what's truly important right now? What's the bigger picture here? What am I learning and what's truly important right now? Now, when we're looking down on that balcony, I don't want you to think that I'm going to jump off. You jump off. There's none of that. You're just looking at those things. What's the bigger picture here? What's truly important to me? And what am I learning right now? Because this one resolution right here just shifts and breaks the loop completely. Because when you look at the bigger picture, you're like, wow, okay, I can see what I'm doing. And it just pivots you back to what's important to you. Got that one? Great. The next one I'm going to say is being transparent, or radically honest with yourself, completely honest. And you can hear your words. You can catch yourself blaming circumstances, or waiting on the perfect time to do this, or invest in this, or go do this, or I can't say this now's not the perfect time, or just constantly repeating your excuses. Okay, and I know someone on here who will be watching this, and so it's time this weekend, sweet cheeks. You already know that, so which we won't talk about, but we know. So, and we're waiting on that perfect timing. We've got that one there. So, the other day I was working with actually it was last week. I was working with a guy, and he said, "I don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time for this." And I was like, "What is this?" And he said, "Self-care." And I was like, what? And he's probably talking to the worst person in the world, like, you don't have time to do self-care. But he can sit there and he can spend 3 hours, I'm not going to say on the toilet, he can sit there 3 hours and scroll on his phone and it's disappeared. How's that hitting you? How's that feeling? So I want you to be honest with yourself. Real honesty. And I want you to call yourself out, but with love. Call yourself out with love. So I want you to write down your stories, and I actually would love you to handwrite them. Handwriting has a different neurological pathway in your brain that changes things way quicker than typing onto your phone. So write down the stories you're telling yourself and ask. Once you've written them down, ask yourself, is this true or is it just familiar? Is this true or is it just familiar? And that alone brings you straight back to the truth. You've got to be truthful with yourself. If you can't be truthful, no one else is going to be. And then you're going to replace it with a new truth, and that's going to move you forward. So when you do that, you're going to replace it with a new truth, and that's going to move you forward. How about that? Like being radically honest. When was the last time you're truly honest with yourself? Yeah. Yep. I'm thinking. Okay. The next strategy I'm going to give you is decoding the discomfort. And this is because what happens is you start to feel restless, anxious, or even heavy, and you're trying to move forward, and everything just feels really heavy to even start. Where do I start? What it is. And so what can happen is you can actually get paralyzed. And even public speaking, when you're public speaking and you feel paralyzed. So just know it isn't actually a failure. So their discomfort isn't a failure. It was actually growth. It's really growth when you have that, because it's actually pivoting you back. So the beautiful thing here to actually resolve this is see it as a compass. See it as a little compass that moves and wobbles and turns around. And instead of resisting, I want you to lean in and ask. I'm all about leaning in, lean in. Lean in, and what is this stretching me to become? What is this stretching me to become? And just that takes you out of the, I can't do this, and this. It actually takes you to a different neuropathway in your brain instantly. What is this stretching me to become? And you're like, actually, you know what? I hadn't thought about that. Because often we get ourselves into this state and this pickle and this round and round and round, and we can't see clarity at the end of it. So this is it. What is this stretching me to become? You can choose to become or not, but what is this stretching you right now? What is that? Because that discomfort is just a movement. It's just a movement. It's just one turn of the dial, Now, I wouldn't be talking about the glitter bombs. My next strategy has got to be a glitter bomb, and that's going to be coming up. So I want you to think about this as your glitter bombs. And the signs of this is actually you're drained, you're resentful, or you're even just flat, even in your daily routine that you do straight away, easy, simple. That's it. This is what I want to do. So when you think about that, so even with myself, when I'm coaching back to back, the other day I had a full right from 5 o'clock in the morning till about 11 o'clock at night, and I could feel it. So for me, I was conscious to put in my glitter bombs. And if I'm not putting my glitter bombs in there, it's the thing that's going to clearly get me through. But if I'm not sprinkling those glitter bombs, whatever they are, if they're going for a walk around the block, which I don't do, by the way, I'm going to be honest with that. Incredible transparency. Don't do that. But I actually walk out to the garden. I go out to the garden, I look, and I get disgruntled with my veggie garden, or I get disgruntled with something, and then I see a rabbit. We've got a wild rabbit at the moment. But this is exactly what I do. And it's about laughing or connection. And if I'm not doing those things, my energy drops. So I want you to identify your glitter bombs and schedule them daily. Whether that's putting on your favorite lipstick, whether that's doing your hair, whether that's spraying in perfume, putting on your favorite undies, whatever it is, or jumping on the couch and watching Netflix or one of my YouTubes, or listening to one of my deliciously motivated mindset podcasts. Whatever that is, ensure that you have your glitter around you. They're not actually extras. They're not a top up. They're your fuel. That's the things that keep you going day to day. Even if you're doing things inspiring, there will be glitter amongst those things. So the next one I'm going to say about is actually another one I say very regularly. And who can guess it? Don't take anything personally or life seriously. This is it. So there's things that somebody says something and you're overthinking it. or you're taking it personally and you're like, oh, why did they say that? Is that for me? If you've got this Facebook Live and you're watching one of these tips, you're like, oh, Deborah knows me. She knows exactly that this is who it's about. She's talking exactly to me. So even when we're thinking these things, by the way, they are. And you actually internalize other people's moods and you start taking on their energy and you're actually feeling heavier with pressure just to get it right. You know, we all know this. I woke this morning to quite a horde of messages from people who are thinking I was doing things personally. And I'm like, mate, you would know if I was doing it personally. It's not me. Here's my full transparency. And once I've done that, it seems to have calmed the farm out there. But getting that, I was like, whoa, this is not my intention. And there's intention and intention. So just be aware of those. But I want you to say it aloud. This is not about me. This is not about me. And when I got this message, I was like, whoa. This is not my stuff. And I read and then kept checking with myself. And so I just started to laugh. And went, wow, people are on such an amazing journey that they're on their journey. And we don't have to align, but there's so much going on out there in the world. So their stuff is their stuff. It's not about me. I want you to have more fun in your life. I want you to laugh more. I want you to play more. I want you to stuff it up. I want you to be messy. I want you just to be real in yourself. And this is the only way, because people are actually projecting their world onto yours. You don't have to take it. Are these landing? I'm sure they're landing. I'm sure we're getting these. I can't even see what's going on here. So let's just trust this is working. The next one I'm going to say is actually how to reframe your stuck as a pause button. You're going to reframe your stuck as a pause button. And so when I think about this, it means you've actually been waiting on something external before you can move. And that's like, I'm waiting on the universe. I'm waiting on the universe to give me a sign. You already know. You don't need the universe to give you a sign. You don't need God to give you a sign. You don't need permission from anyone to get you a sign. You already know. So this stuck isn't actually stuck. It's just a pause button. So one of the people I mentor at the moment was stuck, and they were waiting for clarity on their business. And when I just said, how's this adding value to your life? They started to go, actually, that pause gave me space to uncover what I really want to do. This pause and just those things. So instead of judging the pause, use it, reflect it, journal it, breathe, glitter bomb time. And that's when the hidden geniuses actually come out. It's when we're sitting in that stuck place, when we're like, where do I go? What do I do? If your intuition doesn't jump out and say something to you. The next tip I'm going to share with you is to connect with me. And the reason I say that is because you're trying to do it alone and you actually still feel like you're spinning, and you're round and round, and I don't know about this, and it's going on and on and on. So often people say to me, I've read all the books, but I feel stuck. I've watched my TikTok and that didn't work, or I've watched this and it doesn't work. That's totally okay, because at least you're actually looking. That's the main thing, is you're actually looking and you're open. But you don't have to do this journey alone. Seriously, you don't. That's why I created the Glitter Bomb calls. That's why I created my programs. So you always have a place to go to get unstuck. And that gives you that certainty and clarity that you're actually looking for. And as we say this, I'm also just going to throw on one more thing for you. Actually, I'm going to give you two more things. One is if you're in Melbourne or Perth, Australia, if you're in Melbourne or Perth next month, I'm hosting an event called Awaken Your Excellence. And it's going to be incredibly powerful, and I will guide you through the most proven strategies that will give you to dissolve your stress, unlock that uncertainty you have that's sitting in there, smash that out, and we're going to connect to the highest version of yourself. I will give you those strategies. I guarantee they work. I use them every day in my world and clients' worlds. I teach them. I go with them. That's my Awaken Your Excellence. And it's in Melbourne and Perth. So it's not theory. You're not going to sit and you're going to listen to me talk. Actually, I don't talk that much in that one. Well, I share a few little stories. I share a lot more about myself at the live events than I do here. I can assure you of that. But it's actually a practical transformation you use immediately, right there and then. You're doing it. And this is something you can help in your life or your business with whatever it is. And unfortunately, this is going to be the only time I'm going to be in Melbourne and Perth this year. So don't miss the chance if you want to be in the room. I will put it's called Awaken Your Excellence. It's awakenyourexcellence.com. I'll put it in the chat as well if you want to come along. And I'm limiting it to 10 seats. 10 seats per event because I love the intimacy and the time frame, and it's a full day event. And now I'm just going to give you the last part. Are you playing this life game to the most you can possibly do? Are you playing to the most you can possibly do? So after listening today, I want you to think, what's your highest priority action step? What is your highest priority action step that I've given today that you're going to do, and it's going to achieve your inspiration? What is that one that I've given you today that you're going to do that's going to achieve your inspiration? There, take that and think about that one. So that is me, Debs Cooper, Global Stressologist, signing off on why feeling stuck is actually a gift. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next time. And don't forget to check out a glitter bomb call with me, awaken your excellence with me, or just keep leaning in and doing whatever lights you up. Thank you. I will see you on the next video or in person. Bye.